And
Yes.
you pointed me to your YouTube channel, and I watched a couple of the debates that you had on the false electors because I was curious about. The arguments were very bad. I think that right now you're basically just saying that the only person who can actually find fraud, because we can't trust DHS, we can't trust DOJ, can't trust FBI, can't trust the states. It's just the president, and we should overturn the results of the election because of the president's suspicion.
Like I said, man, the deep state runs deep.
If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Rinyald. And if you disagree with anything in the video, make sure you join the Discord and we can have a chat sometime.
Brother,
there were people who were not certified electors that signed their name on fraudulent certificates of the vote.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not. So
there absolutely were.
Hold on. We do this all the time, right? So I even on my YouTube Citizens Debate, we go over every signature, every seal of ascertainment. We go through the entire thing, and if you watch that, get back to me after that and tell me there were fake electors. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of what people have an idea of what happened that day. So all right,
I gotta drop you down because you were denying the election. Fuck TikTok, all right? Free marketplace of ideas. Listen, if you want to join,
I'll be back. I would love to get you on this.
Listen, I would love to have a future conversation with you on either the due process or on January 6th. If you want to join a Discord too, I stream on YouTube and I stream on Twitch. We can do the any
conversation you want to have about any form of politics. I will be game.
Listen, I'll follow you. All right, if you want to join the Discord so we can not do the stupid fucking TikTok language, then I would love to.
Why it makes sense is that Pence wouldn't go along with it.
Yep.
Wouldn't go along with what?
Call it the Eastman strategy, more or less.
Yep.
Pence didn't know anything about the Eastman strategy.
What? What? That's okay. Saying that alone just means you're bad faith. Like, there's no shot. If you say something like that, you should not be talking about the subject. Yeah, so the war game scenario was literally like this think tank going through and describing what could possibly happen in different outcomes of the election with no ties to the Biden administration. Whereas the Eastman plan was written by a Trump-hired lawyer in order to pressure the vice president to actually go through with that plan. This is disgust. Oh my god.
Gotta go do stuff.
So the only two videos on here about J6 don't even get into the proposal by John Eastman. They just get into whether or not a certificate of alternative electors are valid. That's all they get into. Disappointing.
By avoiding.
The person directly to
I don't know
right.
if I'd say avoiding, but
I don't even know who that is.
No, whatever.
why am I on the screen? I just want to know why I'm on the screen.
God damn it.
Oh, we're just going over his debate, you know.
He was trying to point out something you said to me. You said that I trust government, I said, "Oh, really? How do I trust government?" And so he tried to explain to me how I trusted government, but now his stance has changed on the fact that he thinks that I trust government because he hasn't been able to give me another example.
I could have actually. Oh my god. Holy shit! I'm like slipping out of my chair with this one, bro.
Yeah, because you got nothing.
I do have to say,
when I bring up the fact that hey, you seem like really trust the government before, and now you're going through all these FBI reports and CIA reports saying, oh, look how big, bad, and evil China is, and people going around it, and now with your trust in the government. And,
wait, you don't think China is big and evil or bad at all?
Is that what I said?
Is that your stance?
Is that my stance?
You know, you keep using that as an example.
Can you repeat
you keep using that as an example of something I said.
Can you repeat my argument back to me?
You said, oh, and you continue your stance on how bad China is and big, bad, and evil, and that's all I really fucking heard.
Can you repeat my argument back to me?
You said that I trust government, and then you said something about how I think China is so big, bad, and evil.
Why
and
did
my response to you...
Okay, can you connect those two things? Do you know what the argument was there?
So, I guess
I think you have a
my
really bad problem when it comes to like listening to me, listening to my
Well, you
points, and not immediately strawmanning what I'm saying.
You also speak too quickly. You need to learn to slow your words down because
You
it's really
also
hard
have
to
consistently
understand
throughout this
sometimes.
entire conversation either pivoted to things like Keynesian economics or Iran and your position on that instead of actually addressing the question. So whenever you try and bring up this excuse now, it just seems like you're being more
slow down
dishonest.
your words so that I might actually hear your
Okay.
question.
Okay, then
Because you're
wait.
clearly
How did I
speaking too
understand
fast.
I didn't realize.
Structure.
I'm sorry. I guess not everybody's frontal lobe forms by the time.
Well, hold on.
Sometimes
he
it takes a couple
understands
extra
you. So
decades, right?
hold on. Let's let him ask. Annoying you ask the question that he asked then.
That he was asking you to like give it paraphrase his argument. Like I can't hear what Scratch says. I can understand, and I'm a fucking Frenchie.
So
No, hold on.
Annoying. What was my
his
argument? What was my
question originally?
argument?
No.
that I was giving?
I'm asking
Scratch,
Annoying since he
Scratch,
seems to be able to
I was,
understand you.
I can wait. When I listen to Scratch, I can easily understand what point he's
Oh,
making.
so, okay.
He talks very clearly to me. He might speak quickly, but you can still
Sure.
understand.
So
his
what was
point.
his original question then, Annoying?
I was watching MMA clips. I was teacupping.
Ah, yeah.
So,
okay,
you're
go
so
ahead. Move
fucking.
on, Scratch.
Hey, Hex, you there, dude?
Sorry, Scratch.
Yeah.
Did you listen to that?
Wait, which part?
No, he didn't.
The part about the question I was asking, approach.
Oh no.
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Yeah,
Rinyald,
go
were
ahead.
you
Nobody can
listening?
understand you.
You fucks.
No, I wanted to.
So-
to
My
ask
fucking
Bertha a
god!
couple
All of you have
Wait.
such fucking ADHD.
which
Holy
question?
shit.
Bro,
My.
bro.
My.
Well,
Okay.
Scratch, just ask the question
Actually,
again.
no,
dude.
all of them need to take some fucking Adderall right now.
Okay, well, can we get that I wanted to bring up to you originally?
Listen, if you're gonna kick me, all right, you gotta stop content leeching. All right, get my face out of your background before you kick me
Content
down from
leeching?
your panel, bro. Okay.
I'm content leeching?
My face is literally
Okay.
has
So
been
I
in the
sent-
background
I
of your
sent
live.
you-
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll look
Scratch,
here.
I sent you my Discord, what I was trying to bring up to you.
Everybody
Would
can
you
have
pull
a
it up
fun
for the
time looking at
class?
that. Okay.
Scratch. Would you mind? I sent you something in Discord. I sent you an invite. Would you pull it up on your screen for the class so I can explain what we're looking at?
Of these articles are
Yeah, so you can.
after
So the ones
one
that are
art decision
highlighted.
by the Yale Law Journal announced that the court failed to adopt the full extent of the English common law, and the other are none other than Harry Campbell, Black Law, various posts wrong.
It was done by Mr. Black of Black Law's Dictionary. So these are law journals where the journal itself will put basically their explanation of the justice's opinion. So what they go on to explain in these journals is that, because this is the argument that Vader and I had. So they go on to explain that in this decision and in the 14th Amendment that they did not adopt the dubious common law as it pertains to the 14th Amendment in regards to birthright citizenship. So they go on to explain that under the jurisdiction thereof, not being adopted by common law means something different within the law that was written. So under the jurisdiction thereof, as it pertains to the 14th Amendment, means that you are under complete jurisdiction of the United States and that your allegiance is only to the United States. So they also go on to explain that originally they were going to use just your allegiance is only to the United States, but under, within that word, within law itself, could mean a couple of different things. So they changed that and they put it in under the jurisdiction thereof. Now, what that means, like I said, is that you're under full jurisdiction. Your allegiance is only to the United States. And the way they determine that, at the very minimum, would be your permanent residence would be the United States. So they go on to explain that two immigrants that are not here legally and have children do not have the right to birthright citizenship. And these are two very respected journals back in 1889 that were writing about this. So my argument with when it comes to birthright citizenship, as it was with Vader, who said they'd use dubious common law, this goes on to explain that they did not use dubious common law, and it does not have anything to do with that, because in dubious, if you were born within a certain land, the king, you were a servant to that king as you were born under that birthright citizenship under that king. But we did not do that here in the United States. So therefore, if you're born of two immigrants that are not here legally, your child is not.
Are you trying to say that
citizen.
So you're trying to tell me that one or these two journals agreeing with the dissenting judges automatically means that the judges who did the ruling were wrong about the common law in England?
Once again, so when it comes to Black himself,
are you just trying to tell me that I could probably accept the position or even the argument that there's probably some legal nuances to if this is legal or if the way it currently works. Did you address what Vader was saying though about the what was it Judas?
So Vader was saying that as it pertains to birthright citizenship, they were using dubious common law. But as these two journals explained, we did not adopt dubious common law as it pertains to birthright citizenship. Therefore, if you are born of two immigrants on this land, your children are not citizens.
Have you read Wonka Mark?
These are right. Hold on. So these are actually right after Wong Kim Ark decision, and this is what they were writing the journals about, that decision itself.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm saying, did you read Wong Kim Ark?
Yes, of course I've read Wong Kim Ark, yes.
You acknowledge that Wong Kim Ark directly cites the common law justifications, right?
No. So like I said, this is what they explain about that judge's ascending opinion. So they go on to explain in depth about that opinion.
An opinion piece from Black's Law Dictionary doesn't have any legal binding. That's not legally binding.
That's exactly what that is. That's people
guys,
plenty for instance approach.
I'll mute up.
Approach. You understand there are plenty of opinion pieces out about the immunity cases around Donald Trump. I'm guessing you would still disagree with all those from Yale and Harvard.
Well, I would ask that you guys read these journal entries and see that this is not just an opinion of what they think themselves. They are trying to explain the decision of the justice themselves.
That's what every legal dictionary opinion is going to do. Of course, they're going to try and make an argument for their case. They're not just going to give an opinion, some evidence, but that has literally no legal weight to if the Supreme Court decides
just
to use common law or not. That's
just like
Playla
v. Doe on this page here. I'll put it in the chat if you guys want to go look this up. So they basically go over the same thing. So here's the page you can look up in Playla v. Doe. And so they actually go over this exact thing as well on this page. So when you see under the jurisdiction thereof, under this particular case right there, you can be under the jurisdiction thereof and a citizen of a state. However, it does not make you a citizen of the union itself. So they actually go over that as well.
Wait, didn't Pyler v. Doe very specifically find that the child of the illegal immigrant was within jurisdiction?
No, to go to school, right? So being under jurisdiction itself, there's two different types of jurisdiction. There's partial jurisdiction, and then there's, which means you're to abide by the laws. If you break laws, you're subject to those laws. But if you are under complete jurisdiction and your allegiance is only to the United States, then you would be under the jurisdiction thereof, which is also explained in the two.
If this case found that the person was under the jurisdiction, under the definition used in the 14th Amendment, why would we not assume that it's the same definition of jurisdiction?
So you're missing the point. So under the jurisdiction is not the same as under the jurisdiction thereof. But you can be under the jurisdiction thereof of a state, as those two articles that I sent to him explain. But they also explain that even if you're under the jurisdiction thereof of a state, it means you can be a citizen of that state, but you are not a citizen of the complete union.
Okay. So if we're applying this based off of the definition of jurisdiction under the 14th Amendment, why would they not make a specific carve out to delineate that it's a different jurisdiction?
Sure,
why would they not say full jurisdiction?
They did. So exactly. So if you go read the arguments on Congressional Record,
I've read them.
When the authors put together the 14th Amendment, they are asked this question: what does under the jurisdiction thereof mean?
Yeah, and
so
the
what
one
their
guy
answer
answered. The one guy answers summonable in court, right?
Yeah, it means your allegiance is only to the United States. So, and they almost use that.
A
in the
different
14th
guy.
Amendment.
A different guy answered. You just simply need to be summonable in court, right?
No,
That never
But
happened?
see, this is no. So this means like, so this is why somebody who is not a citizen of the United States, they can't serve jury duty, right? They can't. Yeah. So basically, they can't join the military, right? So this is, they're not under the jurisdiction thereof. They're under partial jurisdiction.
Okay.
So, yeah. So basically, these two articles that I sent to Scratch here, which I hope you take the time to read them, because every time I send you something, Scratch, you never read it because you're lazy. Maybe you'll understand it more.
It feels like we're just inventing justification here. I mean, it feels like
No,
we have
we're not.
very, very clear understanding that jurisdiction means jurisdiction, and that we have a definition
No.
of what definition the Supreme Court used in 1982 for the term jurisdiction, but somehow, because it applies to a different subsect of person for a different thing, that means that actually it needs to be under complete jurisdiction, and that conveniently just outlines everybody but the people that I want to get rid of.
Until you read these two articles within these journals about what they wrote in regards to that matter, then maybe you'll have a better understanding. Which Scratch, I don't know if you want to send it to him.
Content farming. Everybody, come into my live. I have Rinyald on the screen. Everybody, right now.
True.
I'm making all the money. Give me right now. I'm actually Rinyald. Right. I'm actually wait.
You never
give me your
gift
money.
anybody.
This is me talking right now.
But anyways, I mean, here's the thing, guys. When it comes to Supreme Court Justice opinion itself, don't get me wrong. I think they actually have the ability to get it wrong. But either way, as I know this, if somehow the Supreme Court sides with you guys of what you think it may be, I'm not going to bitch. I'm going to let it be. Even though in the Federalist Papers 10, they say that, justices can be corrupted as they are men. And this is why the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. But at this point, I'm not exactly going to cause a big fuss and revolution over it, but I hope that everybody does the same when the Supreme Court shows that this has never been truly addressed.
Can I read a quote to you from US v. Wonka Mark, page 10, about the common law applications?
You sure can.
It thus clearly appears that the law of England for the past 3 centuries, beginning before the settlement of this country and continuing to the present day, aliens, while residing in the dominions possessed by the Crown of England, were within the allegiance, the obedience, the faith, the loyalty, the protection, the power, the jurisdiction of the English sovereign.
Continue.
How it's literally saying that.
No, continue.
What? Okay, we can continue. Give me 1 second. Page 10.
What other relevant context is there?
Scratch, your mic is
sure.
down. Your mic is down.
Sure,
Scratch.
but yeah. Now, once again, I'm curious to see.
Dale, thank you, annoying, for pointing it out for once.
Jesus Christ, dude, shut your bitch ass up. Lower that mic right now.
No.
Are you like Vietnamese and French at the same time? That was the weirdest accent I ever heard.
He's French Canadian.
The best. The OG.
He's not.
Therefore,
He's not on
every
the
child
whole.
born in England of alien parents was a natural-born subject unless the child of the ambassador or other diplomatic agent of a foreign state or of an alien of a hostile occupation of the place where the child was born. So it seems like it outlines very clearly who is within and who isn't within, and it seems like the only qualifications that you can't have is being a member of a hostile occupation, being a diplomatic agent of a foreign state, and that looks like it's about it. Which is the general understanding that we have of birthright citizenship right now.
Hold on. When you say hostile occupation or somebody who we don't have treaties with and so on, it is curious that they use that wording. So when you read what what's his name, Henry Black used, or which the other one was William C. Robinson, I believe, who from Yale. They go in detail how this is not. It doesn't pertain to the. They did not adopt the common law when it came to that. So.
Even though they cited it directly in the case.
They're specifically addressing what the actual justice was trying to say in his opinion or ascending opinion. So
you don't think that the justice was capable of writing that himself? We have to rely on the Black Law Dictionary in order to know what the justice was saying? We can't just read his opinion?
The Black Law Dictionary wasn't actually created until a couple years later. But that particular, well, it's not relevant exactly, but I'm just saying it wasn't. So they weren't using Black Law's dictionary is all I'm saying.
I'm not saying they were using black. I'm saying you're using the Black Law's dictionary guy.
No. No. Well, the guy, yes.
Yeah. So why are we trusting him over the Supreme Court justice? Is he not good enough at delivering his opinions?
Well,
it seems pretty clear what he's trying to say.
So. Well, when you read it, right? When you read it, his opinion, based off of what was written by the actual, because I don't remember the exact wording surrounding that. I don't remember the exact wording surrounding the entire opinion as it pertains to that. So, obviously, I have to go back and.
I can tell you they went on to say the same rule was in full force in all the English colonies upon this continent down to the time of the Declaration of Independence in the United States afterward, and continued to prevail under the Constitution as originally established. I can tell you that was the following paragraph.
Yeah, but the 14th Amendment wasn't even written then.
I'm sorry, are you an originalist?
No, that's not what I'm
really?
saying. I'm saying that the authors of the 14th. I'm saying that well, sure, I guess I can agree that I am, but I'm saying the authors of the 14th Amendment themselves, when they were, when they were writing the 14th Amendment, this goes on to say that when they were writing, they specifically didn't use instead of under the jurisdiction thereof, they didn't just write your allegiances only to the United States because of the legal meaning behind allegiance, and so they specifically use under the jurisdiction thereof just based off of the fact that you had to at least have a father who was a U.S. citizen in order to be an actual citizen once you were born here.
We acknowledge that Trumbull and Howard said that a person is subject to the jurisdiction if he or she can be summoned by and sued in American court, or if he or she can be prosecuted criminally for actions that take place on United States soil.
No, see, once again, that's partial jurisdiction.
That's what Trumbull and Howard said. Subject to the jurisdiction means.
No, see, being subject to the jurisdiction, but being subject to the jurisdiction thereof is a different meaning. So when you go read their arguments, I pulled.
Thereof is just referential to where the jurisdiction is taking place.
So why when they were asked, I'll ask you. So why when they were asked, what is the meaning of under the jurisdiction thereof in the arguments? Why would their answer be your allegiances only to the United States?
Because they were talking about wild Indians. They were talking about wild Indians, and when they followed up, they said, "Can you sue a Navajo Indian in court?"
Well, that was their
answer.
We didn't do the. Hold on. So we didn't do the Indian Tribe Act or whatever until what, the 20s or some shit. But they specifically, when they were talking about Wong Kim Ark in regards to the judge's opinion, it was based off of the Chinese Exclusion Act.
Wait, why we're jumping between? You're talking first. You were talking about the original intent by the framers of the 14th Amendment.
I'm saying the way they explain what the judge's opinion had more to do with it. It had more to do with the specific case, the fact that he was only giving this opportunity to Wong Kim because of the Chinese Exclusion Act. They go on to, you read the articles, and I'm happy to take your critique once you're finished reading them.
It feels like
I don't like. I'm not. Wait.
It's
so
not
I'm
a very
even
good
seeing,
argument
Like,
to
any
just
of the
tell me to
I
go
just
read.
like skimmed these. I'm not even seeing like any of the criticisms that you said that were in the articles here.
But I want to be clear again.
You're skimming.
Real quick, I do want to make clear that we're jumping between points. First, you said, well, if you look at the original intent of the people who framed the 14th Amendment, they said you need to be under the complete jurisdiction. And then when I say, okay, well, what they meant is like that specifically referred to wild Indians, and he said immediately after, can you sue a Navajo Indian in court? And then you said, well, if you look at the intent of the people who wrote Wong Kim Ark, well, that came way after. We need to focus on one
I didn't say
thing.
the intent of Wong Kim Ark. No, I'm saying
You just referenced the judge's opinion in Wong Kim Ark.
Oh, sure. No, maybe I misheard you. So what I'm saying is, under Wong Kim Ark, his specific case had more to do with the Chinese Exclusion Act than birthright citizenship itself.
So why would they cite the common law justifications if it was just on the grounds of the Chinese Exclusion Act?
Because the parents were permanent residents at one point of the United States, and they were here legally. So basically that's why they gave him citizenship. If they were here illegally, then that case would have been over. So for instance, we have two other cases where they were denied in the same scenario. We have Mary Devereaux, who was on a ship off the port of New York, and so she came over to New York and gave her baby or gave birth to a baby in the hospital. This was after the Wong Kim decision, and so that baby was denied citizenship. And then we also have a German guy. Hold on, let me get his name if you'd like.
Was it ever challenged?
They went to court about his citizenship.
I'm saying, like, was it ever challenged up to SCOTUS? Was there ever a decision on that?
No, there wasn't. Not in the Devereaux case, but I believe in the other gentleman's case. Let me pull his name up. Hold on.
I feel like we can all agree that if we are going by the common law, this is fairly clear cut, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think Scratch is just really bored of this boring ass debate.
Well, Rinyald, I'm listening, and Rinyald let me debate like monetary policy, so I'm paying it back.
I love you, Scratch. I didn't even want to come up here and talk about Birthright. I just wanted to ask Approach if we could schedule something for the electors talk.
Also, I'm gonna keep content stealing off of you. Your face is mine.
That's fine.
You are mine.
Based.
You are mine.
Wait. Can I review your videos on my live? Actually, though. Like,
Yeah.
Seriously. Okay, I'm just making sure.
Just make sure.
So it was Richard
everyone knows.
Greiser.
Make sure that I credit you
GREI.
and like point people in your direction.
Can you type that in the real quick? Approach. Can you type that name in the chat?
Yeah, here.
Okay. Approach. I have a slight bone to pick with you. Very
Yeah, go
slight.
ahead.
So, you came into my live as Scratch was showing. We had a little conversation. We had a conversation about the false electors. And
Yes.
you pointed me to your YouTube channel, and I watched a couple of the debates that you had on the false electors because I was curious about what the kryptonite arguments were.
I only have one up there, don't
Would you
I?
like me to
There
pull
were
it
two.
up?
The arguments were very bad.
Wait, you mean we went through over every letter of ascertainment, every
Yes.
signature? How is that
Correct.
bad?
Because the conclusions that you were coming out of, like, I'm not gonna ascribe malice, okay, but I feel like you were missing a lot of very, very important context to a lot of these claims. So if you ever want to, like, you said you had a Discord in your thing, it's broken, okay. We gotta schedule something.
Oh, here. Yeah, here's my Discord. Oh, wait. Here, I'll just send it to you. Give me a second.
Or if Scratch is in it, he can send it to me because I know I have him on Discord. But
Oh, there you go. Scratch,
Yeah,
Scratch can send it to you.
we gotta
But
schedule
so-
something because
But
it was bad.
so when it comes to the letters, when it comes to the objections, all they got to was Arizona, right? Because they start, they go A through, they go in alphabetical order, right? But the election was certified anyways, even though there were 12 objections. So we had the argument that there were 0 fake electors, as people like to put it, within the federal election when there was no fake electors in the actual
the
federal
certificates of
election.
ascertainment.
Wait,
sorry,
hold
not
on, scratch,
ascertainment.
please. Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. I need this. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
do you even believe that there were any alternate electors filed?
Well, no, alternate is different than fake. You
I understand, but I'm saying, do you believe? Because the video that I was watching made it sound like you guys didn't even believe that the alternative electors were even sent.
Well, so when it came to the alternate electors, when they went to their respective chambers, they never actually returned to go even over the arguments because of the people in the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your question?
I'm saying, do you believe that Trump wanted to even send the alternate electors? Because the way that you were making it sound made it sound like they never even tried to send alternate electors.
Well, hold on. So there's more information coming out in regards to that soon. So I guess we'll have to get more information as it comes out. So as far as I know, Trump wanted to continue with the actual process, which is in his constitutional right to do so, but it never, they never fully went through the entire process of all the objections themselves.
Okay. I have a singular question, and then you can take it away.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you read the Eastman memo approach?
Yeah, we went over it together, didn't we, on SK's Live one time?
Okay, continue.
The second Eastman memo is way worse, by the way, and Donald Trump prefers one of the tactics laid out in the second Eastman memo, just to be clear. But so do you acknowledge that we have video of multiple quote unquote alternate? I believe that they were fake, but I'll even grant that they're alternate for now.
You're saying you believe they're fake, but at least I give you some credit for at least having some integrity behind what you said. Okay, go ahead.
Even if we grant that these are alternate electors, do we agree that we have footage of them, the quote-unquote alternate slates, meeting in the state capitol and signing certificates of the vote?
Well, hold on. Like I said, the when it came to the objections, all they heard was Arizona. They never got a chance to even get to the other objections.
I'm not talking about the objections. I'm talking about signing the certificates. We agree that that was done in 7 different states, right?
Out of the, what was it, 12?
I'm only aware of 7 alternative slates. I don't think they filed anymore. Or I don't think they tried to sign anymore.
It's been a while, so we haven't had to really debate this for a while. So yeah, I forget already myself. So yeah, go ahead.
Okay. But like we have video of them literally signing the certificates, and we have PDF scans of all 7 alternative certificates that the Trump-aligned electors signed, right?
Okay, go on.
Okay. Because in the debates I was watching, it seemed like we were very, very hesitant to even say that Trump tried to file alternate electors.
No, you'll notice if you watch the debate to its entirety.
I did.
Right?
I watched both of them.
There was a concession at the end that says, well, it's not quite clear. And nobody is 10 toes down on exactly believing one scenario versus the other in that particular debate, if you don't remember.
That was too vague. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, no, at the end, I think it was MJ who was debating at the time, and he was like, well, I can grant you that I forget exactly what he said, but he was like, I can grant you that's a possibility, but in a sense, we truly don't know at this point.
Grant that what's a possibility?
That everything went according to plan, and the entire process was complete, and he basically conceded that it could have been, but he still said that, or I forget exactly. I have to go back and watch it. It's been so long.
Well, I mean, it clearly didn't go along with the plan because Mike Pence tweeted out on January 6th that he refused to go through with the plan because he thought it was constitutional mischief.
I remember this, but at the same time, this is why, a lot of us are not Pence fans because we don't feel like that was completely honest, because later on he admitted, what was his exact What did he say exactly? I have to go back and see what his exact words were.
Gaggle of lawyers or something like that.
Some shit, I forget. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he basically admitted that he wasn't exactly.
Pence said Trump and his gaggle of crackpot lawyers asked him to literally reject votes. I think it's important that American people know what happened.
So didn't he
backtrack
backtrack those words
Pence
later?
Said President Trump demanded
right, I'll go back
that I use my authority as the vice president presiding over the court of electoral college to essentially overturn the election by returning or literally rejecting votes. I had no authority to do that.
To be clear, I mean, he's absolutely right there. Even if he ended up recanting it later to save his political career, like, that's absolutely true. Even if Mike Pence came out and said that he didn't have that power, I don't care. He, like, objectively didn't have that power. I don't care what Mike Pence says.
So, maybe it's just me, but it seems like approach is under the misunderstanding that the plan was to just go through, like, the regular objections that like a senator and a congressperson can do during the electoral process, and not that Mike Pence was going to... Oh my gosh, I can't. Your cooking is so slow, bro. Okay,
yeah,
I know. Like
that's what makes it better. All right, you're just so thirsty for dunks that you show your hand way
I'm
too
thirsty
early.
for dunks.
Yes, you are, and you show your hand way too early all the time.
Oh really? Okay, bro.
So yes, I don't know if you know this, but he did do kind of like a retraction of his statement on that he made on the 6th, and I'll put I think something along the. Oh, hold on, maybe it won't fit. Give me a second.
That's fine. I mean, even if he did,
a retractment of that statement.
Even if he did, it doesn't matter. Like, he objectively did not have the power.
Sure,
to do it.
But at least what I'm saying is that even at this point, I still think we don't know, especially if he's going to retract the statement that you used in your argument just now. So,
well, I'm not using the argument. I'm saying that we know that there was a plan and that it didn't go to plan because Mike Pence refused to go through with it. So if there was a plan to get Mike Pence to do something and he refused, then that means the plan didn't go through.
The reason that you say that he went through with it anyways, because it would have been against the law or unconstitutional. That's at least what he retracted later on in the statement, which I'm trying to fit in the chat here, but it's too long.
Well, I mean, like John Eastman even conceded that it'd be against the law.
Yeah, but Eastman could say what he wants. I'm saying that the fact that Pence actually retracted that statement later, it does say something. It doesn't say nothing.
I think it says nothing.
At the same time, this is long and gone in the past, and Trump is president now.
Last election.
If more information comes out as it's supposed to, I guess, then we'll cross that bridge.
Well, I mean, let's be clear though. Like, if this is what I believe it to be, like an attack on our democracy, then that's a pretty fucking big deal, even if it only happened
but
4 years ago.
But you say it's attack on our democracy, and us Trump supporters are looking at the fact that, people going in that building that day, we all know that didn't help out Trump's cause to do his constitutional right to object, the results of an election. So that right there is not unconstitutional. And we now know with the involvement, possibly incitement of certain people there that day, the fact that you yourself, who's a pretty smart individual, you're not asking any questions or don't have any, at least, integrity to say, hey, look, there is a chance that there was some shenanigans, but I'm leaning more towards, your current argument.
There wasn't.
But okay. Regardless, well, see, then I feel that you lack integrity then.
Okay, that's fine. You can say that. I mean, I believe that we should not put the hands of determining if the election was fraudulent or not in the hands of the president. I think that there are bodies that are responsible for looking into claims of election fraud, and none of them found anything other than Donald Trump.
It was never in the hands of the president. It's in charge of the states.
Exactly, and all the states found that there was no fraud.
Well, that's not actually true at all.
That is actually true.
No. There was plenty of there were plenty of objections, and some of them were thrown out just based off of from judges saying there was no merit. But there's still cases that are going on today, is there not?
Cases? What kind of cases? It depends.
That are still ongoing.
What kind of cases?
Objections, fraud, those type of things.
There are still lawsuits today contesting the result of the 2020 election.
There's still going on today, I believe. I could double check, but I'm pretty sure they're still going on, a couple of them.
My gut would tell me that's probably not true, because I don't even know if you can get
am I wrong,
any...
or do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what kind of injunctive relief you could get.
Scratch, do you know what I'm talking about? You're really quiet, Scratch. I'm asking you a question. Are you not listening
He's
to me?
muted. Like
No,
what?
he's not talking. He can hear me.
You couldn't even get
I can look
injunctive
it up.
relief
I can look
from
it
that.
up, actually. Give me a second.
What would you even sue for? What relief would you be able to get from that? A case like that?
Well, I mean, obviously, we know that there's still people going to jail. We're finding out, people who were harvesting. Then we have, we just found a gentleman in upstate New York who wasn't even a legal citizen who was caught.
Yeah, I'm sure that there was fraud.
voting.
I'm sure there was a couple hundred cases of fraud. Yeah, sure.
But we're still, I guess it's still ongoing to the point where it may have been done on even a larger scale. So I don't know personally everything exactly. I have to go back and look it up, but there is still ongoing stuff in regards to that.
If the state investigators told the Trump campaign there was no fraud, if Trump's own DOJ said there was no fraud, if the DHS said there was no fraud,
hold on.
if the FBI said there was no fraud, if state speakers of the Republican Party said there's no fraud, if state governors told him there's no fraud, if his own cabinet members told him there's no fraud, if his daughter told him there's no fraud, but he just says there's fraud anyway.
Hold on a second, and I'll land it here because I got to put my daughter to bed. But but hold on. So listen, not only like I said, is there still ongoing things going on, but when you use the FBI saying that there's no fraud, the fact that we already know that the intelligence apparatus was actively helping out one side of the aisle very partisanly, and even as of June 25th of last year, the last June 25th, we have letters of these agents going back and forth saying they did what they did at the time to help Vice President Biden get elected. These things right there, saying that they said that there was no fraud, means absolutely nothing to me. So when I said that there's more information coming out, I guess we'll have to wait that there's more information coming out. Until then, we'll talk later about it.
Well, listen, I would
This
love
is-
to.
oh my
I would love to
God.
schedule something. I would love to schedule something. I think that right now you're basically just saying that the only person who can actually find fraud, because we can't trust DHS, we can't trust DOJ, can't trust FBI, can't trust the states. It's just the president, and we
like
should
I said-
overturn the results of the election
like I
because
said,
of the president's
like
suspicion.
I said, man, the deep state runs deep, clearly, my friend. But if in the end there's
Are you
nothing,
agreeing with that? Are
after
you
this
agreeing with that
presidency,
characterization?
Then you and I, we will have a talk, and I will gladly concede.
Wait,
so until
approach.
then,
Are you
sir,
agreeing with
you
that?
guys all have a wonderful
All
night.
right, I love you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Okay. Good night, guys.
Run away.
Okay.
I run away.
Oh, yeah. Go put my daughter to bed.
Run
Yeah,
away from
running quiet,
the blacks, yeah.
bitches.
Run away from the
Later,
blacks.
Vedas.
I get
Whatever
on
we
black,
said, I
bro.
love you. Okay.
He doesn't like the blacks.
By the way, just to be clear, I said that the only person you can trust in certifying the election results is the president. He said, "Yeah, well, the deep state runs
my
deep."
gosh.
Like possibly the worst answer that you
Rinyald.
could give to that. Oh
I
my
love
god!
you, and your debate styles like I really fucking dig with it. But when it comes to approach, sometimes you just gotta go in at him. Like he was, just,
Bro,
like,
he ran.
I was-
What am I supposed to do?
he was wrong. Wait, you could have brought up the fact that he just didn't know like what happened, and that like he was obviously lying. He did not read the Eastman memo. He was so obviously lying about it.
It doesn't.
Like,
listen.
Anybody with a cursory understanding of any of the situation wouldn't say shit like he was going through the formal objection process. No, he wasn't.
The thing is, no, he was. That's the problem. He just wasn't just going through the formal objection process. He was also going through 7 different other plans. But you have to.
That omission,
that
omission of evidence is obviously a lie. Like,
you have to get him to agree with step A, step B, step C, and step D before you get him to concede on step E, and you're just trying to make him feel stupid for not agreeing with E without establishing A through D. That's the problem.
Establishing the Eastman memo is something that's important.
I agree, and I would have gotten to that if he was here longer. There's no, what do you want me to do?
I don't even get what you what was step A even like.
What was step A was getting him to at least agree that alternative electors were filed because he was disagreeing with that in the debate.